ask you this, Warrior fans. Did you see anything last night that you can build on? You got the Clippers tonight in L.A. You're coming off a win against the Wizards. You don't have Steph Curry. To my way of thinking, the next whatever amount of games it is without Steph, I'm going to say 7. The Warriors, after the break, have 6 games in 9 days. So I'm going to be conservative. I actually think he may be back before then, but nevertheless.
We'll talk about that later.
But nevertheless. So they have 1 game tonight and then 6 games in 9 days after the break. Let's just say, hypothetically, he misses the next 7 games. So they're 29 and 28. That's 57 plus 7 equals 64. So there'll be 18 games remaining when Curry comes back. See, I think they need to be 500. Like, they need to go 3-4 at least in their next 7 games, so that when Curry comes back, they're 500, and then you might, then can you go 12-6 to finish off the season and maybe get the 5th or 6th seed?
Yeah,
but I also think if they win 3 out of their next 7. What they're going to find is that the number 3 and 4 seeds are completely out of reach.
And you got to hold on to that 10th spot because Portland's coming. The Thunder, they're not going away. And the Lakers, I really believe, are coming. Steiny,
What?
Oh, the Lakers, you understand LeBron's not playing. When he comes back, they got action. And they just ran through you at home. I don't understand why you're saying what.
Well,
LeBron has not been playing with the Lakers for those trades to manifest to where, hey, they got some players.
What's their record?
Well, we got to bet $20.
Record?
Right now, the Lakers are 26 and 32. 3.5 out of the last spot.
You think they can win? You think the Lakers have a 15?
I think they can win 9
stretch?
out of 12. They can go 9-3 easily with this new team and a healthy LeBron James. Can you help us with the math that you think, Steph? What are you basing that on?
Basing what on?
Steph coming back in 7 games. I hope you're.
It's a guess. It's a guess.
Man,
nothing
that would
more,
be early
less.
for me. Reading that Slater piece, early. And he's got a crutch.
Well, let's take a listen. Yeah. Let's take a listen to what Steph Curry had to say. This was last night. By the way, 888-957-9570 is the number if you want to jump into the conversation. Where are the Warriors right now? I know they're the 9th seed, but the question is, do you still think when they click, they're the best team in the West? 888-957-9570 is the number. This is Steph Curry from last night. He met the media, and they talked about his injury. Knee, right? It's a knee injury. I always get injured. It's a knee.
It was just a timing thing. If my foot's elevated and it's just more like a contusion, then you can kind of deal with it. But because my foot was playing and there's a lot of weight on it and the force of the impact, it was a little bit more serious than I wanted it to be.
All right.
Oh, the chef.
Little more serious.
I hope you're right, Matt.
Can you, do we have the cut where he basically says after the All-Star break, then I got to figure some stuff out. And then we'll see. So it's a matter of, I'm different than most because I heard Dibbs say this, and he's like, well, once he's okay, then he's going to need another. And I always feel like
hit the ground running.
He's always done that.
All right.
He's always come back.
Well, he's never had this.
No, but he's had injuries before, and he comes back. And I'll say this for Steph Curry: when he comes back, he's usually back. He's Steph Curry.
Okay. I hope you're right.
At least that's been his MO.
I don't know why. When I heard the word tears, when I hear, Curry talking about how unique this injury is, it's something he's never dealt with. And the fact that, there was a crutch, and I know it's early on and he's got time, everything that I got in me is like, okay, he'll be fine. But we had Brandon Payne on who said wholeheartedly, Stoney, us both, he'll be back. No way he'll miss the year. But I'm not going to say an apology. You, Willard, and I and Dibbs had a conversation. I know last night is nothing to write home about. But where this team is at in the standings, just get the W. And that's why I'm bypassing, as you guys break it down from a technical standpoint of how bad the D was, because it was bad. But, Stoney, they got the dub. And that's all that matters until he gets back.
Curry, this is the one I wanted. This is Curry getting a little more specific about his injury and a little bit of a timetable for his return. Take a listen.
No, because it's all dictated around how this heals. This was different than like the shoulder where it was pretty predictable where I'd be able to get to a point where I could play and not re-injure it or put myself in jeopardy out there on the floor. This one's different because ligaments can heal all different types of timelines. So there's like a window for each checkpoint. Like after All-Star break, I want to hopefully get back on the court. Depending on how things go from there, you can start to key in on a specific date to get back.
All right. What does that sound like to you Warrior fans? The hope would be to get, if he gets back, see, that's where I'm optimistic. If you're telling me he's back on the court the day they return from the All-Star break, back on the court, I mean, maybe he won't even miss 6 games after the break.
Oh, man. Steiny,
I
love
have
you
no
being
idea.
optimistic. What I heard from that is this thing is so different and new, it's got to subside, the swelling, before I can even start to look at it and we diagnose when I'll come back to be able to wiggle and work it out. Hopefully I'm wrong.
925, I was asking about last night's game. Is there anything to build on?
Tizo.
Nothing to build on, says the 925.
Jermichael Green
They
and
won.
Wiggins, that's something to build on. Wiggins looked like his
He's not
old
playing
self.
tonight.
Well, I'm happy because it's personal. That really, what did that do to the line? Oh, my goodness. Not that I care.
925, nothing to build on. They won, and the Wizards shot 60%.
Oh, good Lord. I'll tell you what, Porzingis ain't a stiff.
510, what were you watching? I saw Beal covering Wiggins maybe once on the post-up. No, it was more than that. It was a little bit more than that.
Whoever had him, they was going to him.
By the way, what was I? Oh. When people say, are you going to – is it time to apologize to Klay Thompson? There's only one guy who deserves an apology on the Warriors. And Warrior fans did it again to this guy, to a guy like this. Some Warrior fans, you stuck it to this guy. Ty Jerome. Why do Warrior fans, why do they kill the 13th guy on the team?
You can tell what I sent a thing out about with Jerome somehow on the text thread.
What'd it say?
Put somebody else in there, and as soon as that text hit the vine, he went off. But Stein, who's going to be? Because they're missing Lamb. I'm not saying they're losing because of Lamb. They're missing that IQ. Is it going to be Jerome or Lamb? Like, this is another.
They're 2 different positions.
Is it a good problem?
No.
That's what I'm like, damn. But I think I'm looking at Lamb in street clothes. Last night he was dressed like, man, they got to. When's the earliest they could sign him?
They can sign him right now if they want for the rest of the season.
Oh, man.
Steiny, R.E. Poole. I've never seen such a turnover-prone, out of control roll. It's Monte's. Well, maybe not out of
Monte
control.
never went to the ground like
maybe
this.
Turnover. Steph Curry was turnover prone.
But there's different type of turnover. Oop, a lot. Steiny, he's slipping
Stephs
like
were
he's
good.
in Stacey Adams.
Right.
Jordan Poole.
Remember, right? Okay, and remember how we hated Steph's one-handed passes. What's the difference? The difference is that one's Steph Curry and one's Jordan Poole.
One's balance. Jordan's got the Fred Astaire on a good day, and then the other slip and fall on aisle 4. Yeah. It's just perplexing. It's like, Jordan, I know you got it, but it's like the legs get, last night when it looked like yakety sax and he was hitting the ball, he was going for it though. I was like, what's going on? Fitz voice.
With what?
When Poole fell and slipped and did Pete Rose trying to get the ball.
You mean where the one he got an assist on?
He's falling down.
Yeah, but he tapped it to Wiggins.
Yeah, no,
for a little push shot.
There was hustle, but
I mean, Jordan
he falls
Poole,
down more than the average.
That's because he's trying to facilitate. They're trying to turn a scorer into a playmaker. He's going to turn the ball over. It's another guy who gets too much criticism. Jordan Poole.
Look at my God.
So easy to. I mean, I'm trying to think.
What do you hate about?
I'm trying to think in 1988 when the Celtics were on the decline, and I was watching the big boys decline, if I was like, God, Fred Roberts, and Kevin Gamble, they're killing us. Connor Henry stinks.
It ain't about that, but you're the sibling that would miss the lesson from your mom and dad because all you would think about is if your brother or sister got it. Like you're missing the message. So when people come at pool or whatever individual, why do you got to look at it rank wise? They're the 15th.
Well,
man.
it's not rank wise.
It's like, what about the lesson?
I don't believe that Jordan Poole should take 10 times the amount of criticism as Curry and Clay. And that's the way it usually is. It has been this year. That's all.
I'll say this about Clay criticism.
Like, stop saying
Steiny,
Clay.
It was so bad, some of Dub Nation was lobbying for him to come off the bench. So he got his dose. Now the chef, what does he ever do to get anything?
I know.